Hello, welcome to SST Chemistry YouTube channel. This is going to be the last lecture on volumetric analysis, solutions stoichiometry. The real summit on the Kilimanjaro mountain top that I was referring to last time in the last video lecture will be done today. Almost we have done it. We will do today. Time and again, I have told you and I am telling you now the powerful method, the powerful method to solve problems on solution stoichiometry, volumetric analysis involving successive reactions, multiple reactions is molarity method, never equivalent method. And to me, equivalent method is to be sidetracked, only to be used while you are performing a titration experiment B1 N1 B2 N2, never in any other case you should use the equivalent concept. Rather, the powerful mole concept has to be done, has to be used. Let's see, this is the part 6, analysis involving the use of two indicators, double indicators. And while we shall take up this aspect of volumetric analysis, titrations, it may be a single titration or a double titration, but two indicators will be used. Why? What for? Why not one indicator? All these details we shall be knowing in this chapter, but we will have some limitations. And I will tell you what is the limitation at this point of time, that we cannot know that thing, but we can apply to solve problem. Just hold on. When we have a mixture of bases, two bases, one strong and one weak, then how to do? For example, you have a mixture of sodium hydroxide, which is a strong base, and sodium carbonate or sodium bicarbonate or sodium hydrogen carbonate, which are weak bases. So how to analyze such a mixture? Or you have two weak bases, sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate. How to analyze such a mixture? When a basic salt, listen to me, when a basic salt like sodium carbonate, if you treat it as an analyte in the titration experiment, is titrated with a strong acid like HCl using phenolphthalein as indicator, the end point will be reached when sodium carbonate is half neutralized to form sodium bicarbonate. The reason for this will not be discussed in this lecture. It will come in the theory of indicators. I would not like to complicate your mind by explaining the theory of indicators now. It will be discussed in equilibrium chapter in details. But I will tell you one thing, that do you know when sodium carbonate solution is mixed with HCl, you add excess of HCl, you observe effervescence, carbon dioxide will appear. you get bubbles, carbon dioxide bubbles, what we call effervescence. But supposing you add HCl slowly to sodium carbonate solution, you will find no evolution of carbon dioxide will occur unless sodium carbonate is half neutralized. Now see the reaction. Sodium carbonate and you are adding HCl slowly in a titration sequence, mode. In a titration mode, you are adding HCl as a titrant, and this is an analyte, the conical flask. You will not get carbon dioxide evolution. You will get sodium bicarbonate, which is again soluble there, and NaCl. But if you continue to add HCl, the second half of the neutralization is the sodium bicarbonate will react with HCl to form. So the effervescence, the gas bubble formation, you will find in the second half. So when you add the two, see, when I add the two, I get the one which you write. This one you write. But if you go on a titration style, first you will not get CO2, you get Na2CO3 is half neutralized to sodium bicarbonate, and then if you further add, then it will form carbon dioxide. Now I'm talking about the phenolphthalein indicator. If you use phenolphthalein as indicator, because sodium carbonate is a weak base and it has two steps, first sodium bicarbonate, then carbonic acid. Carbonic acid is nothing but carbon dioxide and water. Carbonic acid is not stable, right? So in that case, the end point will come when sodium carbonate is half neutralized. Because you will know later that phenolphthalein, the change of color from pink to colorless. In alkaline medium it is pink, and in acidic medium it is colorless. So this change of color from pink to colorless will happen at about pH 8.3. Do you know what is pH? I think you do. At 8.3, in the vicinity of 8, pH is equal to 8. That means in the distinctly alkaline region, you find the color change for phenolphthalein. And in fact, sodium bicarbonate has a pH equal to 8.3. So the equivalence point and the end point appear together at 8.3 or in the vicinity of 8. So phenolphthalein changes its color, and sodium carbonate at that time is half neutralized to sodium bicarbonate. Right? Now, the details I am not explaining here. This much you know, that if you are titrating only sodium carbonate with phenolphthalein with sodium carbonate as an indicator, adding HCl or H2SO4 whatever, so the endpoint, you will get endpoint when sodium carbonate is half neutralized. If you further add HCl, then no doubt reaction will happen. And the second half will happen. But how to know how much you add in the second part? So you need to use another indicator, right? So if you have a single titration experiment, same setup, same analyte, no change of analyte, then what you do, you immediately, when the color changes with phenolphthalein, it indicates that sodium carbonate is converted to sodium bicarbonate. At that stage, you add a drop of or a 2 drops of another indicator, methyl orange or methyl red. And its pH change of color takes place at a lower pH, about 4 to 6 at an acidic region. So that we have, if you add more small and more quantity of HCl to the same analyte, you will find another endpoint. Methyl orange will render, because at that time sodium carbonate is still basic. You will know that. Don't be scared, or don't be impatient. Sodium bicarbonate is still basic. So in basic solution, it is yellow. So the color of methyl orange will be yellow when you add a drop of methyl orange after the phenolphthalein endpoint. And continue to add HCl. You will find the yellow color will turn red when the endpoint will come. At that time, all sodium bicarbonate has gone to form sodium chloride, carbon dioxide and water. So the color change will happen in the vicinity of 7, I mean just below 7, and that is the pH of carbonic acid, which is nothing but carbon dioxide and water. So there is a need of 2 indicators, either in one experiment, one titration experiment, or separate experiment. Supposing you take the solution analyte containing sodium carbonate, for example, and nothing else, and take phenolphthalein as indicator and titrate, you will get the endpoint at the stage of half neutralization. But discard it. Take the same quantity of the solution from the stock and add methyl orange. These are 2 separate experiments, 2 titrations, double titration. But 2 indicators will be used, no doubt, but 2 separate experiments. So in the first experiment using phenolphthalein, you get a value of the titer value which corresponds to half neutralization. And if you take methyl orange, you will get the value corresponding to full neutralization, complete neutralization. Now, just let me show you. I caution you that when you handle such problems, always do it by mole method. The equivalent method is highly risky and lacks clarity. Why? And is confusing also. Why? Because in this reaction, the first reaction, the equivalent mass of sodium carbonate is not 53, it is 106. Because if 1 gram equivalent of HCl is 36.5, it should react with 1 gram equivalent of sodium carbonate. So the mole ratio is 1:1, and equivalent mass of HCl is also 1. The sodium carbonate will also have an equivalent mass equal to 106, same as molecular mass. But if you look to this equation, 2 moles, 1 mole, so 1 equivalent, that is 1 mole is 1 equivalent for HCl, and this will be half mole will be 1 equivalent for sodium carbonate, that is 53. So in this case, I strongly recommend not to use, you just forget that you have ever learned equivalent concept from me or from any source. And please don't look at the analysis in other texts. For your good, I am saying, from my experience I am saying, don't look at the analysis that is done in other texts involving equivalents. They are highly confusing. But when you use mole method, it will be 101% convincing. I guarantee you. Just hold on and be with me and continue with me for some time. Now, if you look to these two equations, part equation, and the number of moles of HCl required, moles, I am not talking equivalents, number of moles of HCl required for the first half neutralization is same as the number of moles of HCl used in the second half. For example, here there is X mole. So it will form X mole of sodium carbonate and use X mole of HCl. So this X mole will again take X mole of HCl. So the number of moles used in the first step, if it is X, then in the second step also it will consume X mole. So the number of moles of HCl or H plus ion, it may be HCl or H plus ion. If it is sulfuric acid, you have to find out H plus ion required for the first half neutralization is same as the number of moles of HCl required in the second step. Clear? This step, same amount will be used. I mean, in terms of mole. Of course, in terms of if the reactant and if the reagent is 1, then also you can say mass. If mole is same, mass is same. So, and the number of moles of HCl required in the first step is equal to the number of moles of sodium carbonate, because this is 1:1. So whatever moles or millimoles of HCl is required in the first step, the same is the number of moles of sodium carbonate present. Doesn't matter where if you are performing second step experiment, doesn't matter. If you are given single sodium carbonate as a reactant and you are asked to analyze how much of it is present, you need not bother. You just add phenolphthalein, go for the first step endpoint, and then if that is X, then the sodium carbonate number of moles is X, convert it to its mass. That's it. You need not go for the second step, need not add methyl orange to the same solution, go to the second step. Why? You need how many moles of sodium carbonate is present. That will be known in the first step. We see 1:1. So whatever number of moles will be required in the first step, same is the number of moles of sodium carbonate. But if you go for the second step, then it will be doubled. So whatever number of moles of sodium carbonate or the number of moles of sodium carbonate present is 1/2 of the number of moles of HCl consumed for complete neutralization. So supposing for first step X moles, second step I told you same X mole. So 2X moles of HCl is consumed for the complete neutralization. But the number of moles is not 2X, it is X, half of the whole moles of HCl or millimoles of HCl consumed in the entire neutralization, full neutralization. That half of that will be the number of moles of sodium carbonate. Then you may ask me, why shall we go for the second half neutralization? Add methyl orange. Hold on. It will be required when you are having another base mixed with it, like you have a mixture of sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate, or you have a mixture of a strong base sodium hydroxide and sodium carbonate. In that case, it will be required. Just hold on and listen to me very carefully. Supposing we take a mixture of strong base sodium hydroxide and sodium carbonate, which is a weak base. Let us go for the double titration, separate. Not same titration, same analyte, no. We'll have two different analytes. Same solution, stock solution, we take one using phenolphthalein, the other using what? Methyl orange. I told you that methyl orange will go for complete neutralization of sodium carbonate. And also, we shall discuss just after a bit that it will also go for the complete neutralization of sodium bicarbonate if it is present. Because sodium carbonate is also going through or going via sodium bicarbonate. So if sodium bicarbonate is already present in the mixture, then that also will be done simultaneously with the sodium carbonate produced. The same number of moles of sodium carbonate produced from sodium bicarbonate produced from the sodium carbonate. Right? So don't worry, just listen to me. Now, when you use phenolphthalein, that is called phenolphthalein endpoint. That gives the complete reaction of NaOH because strong base produces OH minus ion completely. It's complete ionization happens. So all HCl or H2SO4 that you are adding from the burette will eat away first the OH minus ion which is free from strong base. So first all strong base will vanish. Then the turn for the weak base will come. So all complete neutralization of NaOH and fast half neutralization of sodium carbonate to convert it to sodium bicarbonate. So these two. But if you do separate experiment, double titration with methyl orange, then that gives the complete reaction of NaOH as usual. Any indicator you take, that will indicate the complete neutralization of NaOH, that we will know. Many things we are not supposed to know now, and I am not going to confuse you by loading some concepts which will require a long time to convince you. So why not we wait for that, right? And at the appropriate time, all these theories of indicators. Now, in methyl orange indicator gives the complete reaction of NaOH and complete reaction of sodium carbonate, both the steps together, right? Supposing we take a mixture of NaOH and Na2CO3 and let's say the number of moles of NaOH present in that mixture is X and number of moles of sodium carbonate is Y, supposing. So then let us first talk about phenolphthalein. When you use phenolphthalein as indicator and the endpoint you find HCl consumed at the end point is P mole. So what is P? I told you that the number of moles, I told you in this expression, I told you that the number of moles of HCl that is consumed in the first half titration is same as the number of moles of sodium carbonate. So that tighter value, not tighter value, it converted to moles or millimoles, Q for example, that Q is equal to, P. In phenolphthalein indicator, first let us discuss that. Let the endpoint comes, HCl required is P mole. And what is P? All sodium chloride sodium hydroxide will vanish and half of it. That means why? Because I told you that whatever HCl will be required in the first step, same is the number of moles of sodium carbonate, because that is 1:1 ratio. You understand? So X plus Y is equal to P. So this is say equation A. And then you do separate experiment with methyl orange. Then you find, supposing the HCl millimoles or moles required is Q. So here all sodium hydroxide, once again X, and 2 times the moles of sodium carbonate, because you know that first step supposing Y, the second step also Y. So it will be 2Y for complete neutralization, 2Y. Whatever is the number of moles of sodium carbonate, that is Y. And you need another Y HCl for complete neutralization. So X plus 2Y is equal to Q. So you have another equation here, that is B. So once you have 2 equations involving X and Y, this is you find from the titer value, this you get from the titer value. This is using phenolphthalein, this is using methyl orange, right? Then you solve these 2 equations, you find X and Y in terms of mole or millimole, then you convert it into its mass. Then you can find the molarity of the original solution, you can find the strength in grams per liter and whatnot, See. But If you are performing this in a single titration experiment, that means analyte will not be changed. Simply the indicator will be changed. In that case, just you tell me. In that case, suppose in that case you have to first take phenolphthalein, no doubt. Phenolphthalein you have to first take as indicator so that all sodium hydroxide will vanish, and and not all, but whatever HCl will be consumed, same will be the number of moles of sodium carbonate, we know. So X plus Y is the number of moles of sodium carbonate. Once again I am writing moles or millimoles, and X is the number of moles of sodium hydroxide. So all sodium hydroxide and not all sodium carbonate, it is half neutralized, it is not fully neutralized, but all sodium carbonate will vanish. 1:1 is, and also sodium bicarbonate also 1. So X, Y. Here it is Y. Here it is Y. So X plus Y is P. P is the number of millimoles of HCl consumed or H plus ion consumed in in phenolphthalein endpoint, right? And then you add 1 drop of methyl orange on the same analyte after sodium hydroxide all gone and sodium bicarbonate is half neutralized, and you have only sodium bicarbonate. So 1 drop of methyl orange and then start adding, it will be, it will be yellow because still it is basic. Then you add till the color changes from yellow to red, and that supposing the extra millimoles of is supposing it is R. The millimoles of H plus ion further required, it is not a separate experiment, further required. This is phenolphthalein endpoint. This is required for methyl orange endpoint. Say, supposing this is R. So what is R? R is equal to Y, because I told you that the number of moles of HCl required in the first step will be the same, because Y moles of sodium bicarbonate is produced. So Y mole will require Y mole. So this step you get the value, titer value, the number of moles that you get from the titer value will be equal to again Y. Got it? Now again I am saying Na2CO3 plus H plus ion, for example, to give you NaHCO3 plus Na plus. I am writing the ionic equation. So whatever number of moles of H plus ion or HCl will be required in this step, same number of mole, this is 1, same number of moles of sodium carbonate is present. Supposing this is Y. And supposing sodium carbonate is Y. So this is Y. And the next step, when sodium carbonate will react with further quantity of acid, so it will be neutralized to carbon dioxide. Of course it is carbonic acid, but carbonic acid is not stable, so it will be giving Na plus, right? So this Y, this is also Y. So this Y, this is also Y. Therefore I told you that the number of moles or millimoles required in the first step of sodium carbonate titration, the same will be required in the second half titration. Exactly same. See the mole concept, mole ratio. This is 1:1, this is 1:1:1. This is also 1:1. So Y and this is Y. So the total number of moles will be 2Y moles to completely neutralize sodium carbonate. But that doesn't mean that 2Y is the number of moles of sodium carbonate. No, 2Y is the number of moles of hydrogen ion which requires for complete neutralization of sodium carbonate. But the number of moles of sodium carbonate is not 2Y, it is Y. That is the key. That is the key, my dear student, viewer. That is the key. Not 2Y. 2Y, millimoles are required for the complete neutralization, but Y is the number of moles of sodium carbonate, because that is used in the first step 1:1. So whatever will be required in the first step, Y, supposing it is P for example, or Q, R for example, that is, supposing you have only sodium carbonate. Here there is a mixture of sodium hydroxide and sodium carbonate. Therefore, X goes to sodium hydroxide, Y goes to this. So this Y, if this is Y, then if this is Y, so this H plus ion consumed will also be Y. And the total titer value that you got, from that you got the number of moles is P. So this is P, and this is a successive reaction. You added one more drop of methyl orange. So this will happen. So NaOH all gone. NaOH is in this step. So Y, another Y will be required. So the number of millimoles of H plus ion consumed in this titration, second half titration using methyl orange, will be same as Y. So supposing that is R, the value of the titer value is R. So the R is equal to Y. So solve this equation, you get X and Y. So these are very, very simple once you adopt mole technique, not equivalent technique. I again tell you, caution you, don't look for any equivalent concept, and don't look at the narrations that you will be finding in texts. I don't say they are wrong. I will never say they are wrong, but I will say you to solve without in a mechanical manner. Don't solve it in a mechanical manner. Instead, you solve it in a convincing manner. Right? Now, if you go for a mixture of sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate, no sodium hydroxide. There is no strong base. Both are weak bases. Supposing the quantity of sodium carbonate is X moles in terms of moles or millimoles, and the number of moles or millimoles of sodium bicarbonate present in the original mixture is Y. Now let's go for a single titration experiment. That means the same analyte will be used, right? In the phenolphthalein endpoint, you only find sodium carbonate will be half neutralized here, Na2CO3 plus H plus, to give you NaHCO3 plus water, plus Na plus. So whatever H plus ion will be consumed, same will be the number of moles of sodium carbonate. So supposing P quantity of H plus ion is used, P moles, then P is equal to X. This is not reacting. This is remaining as such. And as well, the sodium bicarbonate produced from sodium carbonate, that is also not reacting when the phenolphthalein shows its color change. So we have two sodium bicarbonates, one from the original mixture and the other that is produced, supposing this is P, supposing this is Y, and again this is Y moles of sodium bicarbonate is still, but I'm sorry, X. Sodium, I'm so sorry. So the original sodium bicarbonate is Y, but here this is X, this is X. So another X moles of H plus will be required for the second half. So if methyl orange is added there successively, single titration, then one X is remaining, this X, this will consume another X of H plus ion. So this X, and Y is already there in the beginning. That Y is not this Y. The compound is same, but this was originally present, Y, and now X has been formed here. So X plus Y is the titer value. Whatever you get, the next methyl orange endpoint, whatever data, titer value you get, and you convert it into number of moles, you will find X plus Y is equal to Q. So by solving this, you get X and Y. And if you are performing double titration, separate experiments, then phenolphthalein endpoint will give you, as usual, the titer value, I mean the P is equal to X, because sodium carbonate is not going to change, sodium bicarbonate is not going to change, and this sodium bicarbonate is also not going to change. So as usual, X is equal to P. But if you are having separate experiment using methyl orange spelling is wrong. I'm so sorry. When you do separate experiment using methyl orange, then this X and X, for this X and for this X, so 2x, and this is Y. So 2x plus Y is equal to the titer value. So solving this, you can find the value of X and Y. Then what not? Let us solve problems. It will be extremely easy, I assure you, once you handle in mole concept. Never for double indicator problem you think that you have ever studied equivalent concept, right? So if you use them, then you can mechanically do. You can follow some instructor, some textbook, you can mechanically do, but to reconcile or to visualize, it's confusing, because the equivalent mass there is different in the first step, right? So a solution containing both sodium hydroxide and sodium carbonate required 20 ml of sodium, 20 ml of N by 10 HCl when titrated with phenolphthalein as indicator. But the same volume of solution when titrated with methyl orange as indicator required 30 ml of the same acid. Calculate the percentage composition of the mixture. Right? Now, what do you think? It is a double titration or single titration? It is double titration. But the same volume of solution when titrated, it's not indicating that you further added methyl orange to it and further titrated. So you will get in the next problem, next example, I'll give you that indication that it is a single titration experiment, not a double one. So let us write down phenolphthalein. Now let me tell you that if phenolphthalein is used first or second, doesn't matter, because you have to do 2 times. So in phenolphthalein endpoint, what will happen here? I will discuss again and again this. What happens? Sodium hydroxide all goes. Supposing this is X. Let's take it millimoles. It is better to deal with millimoles than moles. Supposing in the original solution, you have X millimoles of NaOH. All. It goes all. And sodium carbonate is half neutralized, but supposing it is Y millimoles is there in the original mixture. So the HCl consumed will be half neutralized. It is converted to NaSCO3. But HCl required, number of moles of HCl required, for this it is X, and for this also it is Y, not 2Y or half Y, because if you go for the balanced equation, you find 1:1. 1:1. So the number of moles of HCl required for this conversion is Y. Y. So that means X plus Y is equal to the value, the number of moles. You can just find out 20 into the, this normality is to be converted to molarity immediately. HCl, the N factor is 1, so this is also M by 10. Don't keep normality in your problem. You convert it into molarity, right? It's not remaining. It is going away. So convert it into molarity. For HCl, there is no problem. So then 20 into 1 by 10, that is 2. So X plus Y is equal to 2. 20 ml of N by 10 HCl is required for phenolphthalein endpoint. Now, when it is a methyl orange endpoint, separately, then what will happen here? I told you that same volume, same volume, supposing 25 ml of the stock solution, also you take the same 25 ml of the stock solution when titrated to methyl arrange, 30 ml of the acid is required, same acid is required, that means m by 10. So in this case, all NaOH, all, that means X, and all Na2CO3, all, that means X in this step, and in this step also X, this, sorry, Y, this is Y, this is Y, so in this step also this is Y, this is Y, and this is Y, and this is Y. So you have 2Y, all means 2Y. The number of moles of HCl is required will be the double of the number of moles of sodium carbonate, because you are getting stoichiometry for this Y, and for this also Y, so 2Y. So X plus 2Y, I don't have space here, I write here, X plus 2Y is equal to whatever that 30 into 1 by 10. So 30 into 1 by 10 is 3. So you get two equations, x plus 2y is equal to 3, x plus y is equal to 2. Solve them and get x and y. I have done it for you. I have done it for you. X plus y is equal to 2 and x plus 2y is equal to 3. When solving, you are getting x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 1. You do of your own. You can stall, you can pause the video and solve for your own and then experience the magic. Then you convert to mass. 1 millimole, just kill milli, then molar mass, not equivalent mass. We are not interested at all. Then that will, is this much, 0.106. And mass of sodium hydroxide is 1 millimole by kill milli into 40 is its molecular mass, so 0.04. So the total is 146, the total. So the percentage of sodium carbonate is only this sodium hydroxide is 0.04 by the total into 100, only 27.4% mass percent is present, that is in the mixture. This is mass percent, W by W. I mean, not mass percent, I'm sorry, it is the composition. It is the mass percent, no doubt, but not the solution. It is the mass percent of, the sample, because we have taken a solution containing this and this, and the solid mixture that we had taken, NaOH and Na2CO3, that mixture contains this mass percent of sodium hydroxide and this. It's not the mass percent that we commonly take in solution, mass of the solute by mass of the solution into 100. It has nothing to do with solution. But in other questions, you'll be asked to find the molarity of the solution, sodium carbonate solution, and the strength in grams per liter. So hold on. Now let us take up a single titration experiment where we are adding the methyl arrange indicator in the same analyte. That also you can do. 2 titrations, double titration or a single titration. Now see, read this problem. I'm sure when you handle your own, solve some problems, even these problems also, you will get 101 confidence. 200 ml of the solution mixture of NaOH and sodium carbonate was first titrated with phenolphthalein using N by 10 HCl, and 17.5 ml of HCl was required for the endpoint. That means phenolphthalein endpoint. After this, methyl orange was added to the same analyte and 2.5 milliliter of the same HCl was required. Again, required for next endpoint. Find out the amounts of NaOH and Na2CO3 in the mixture. In the mixture means in 200 ml, how much of sodium hydroxide and sodium carbonate was there, right? So this is also equally easy. Let us solve it. Let us say this is first phenolphthalein endpoint. Right? So 17.5 into 1 by 10. N by 10 means M by 10. So 17.5 into 1 by 10, that is 1.75 millimoles. This H plus ion is required in the first half. So you all know that if this is the X millimole, this is Y millimole. So here X, all X, I have told you, all X, and as usual Y. Half of sodium carbonate will go. I mean, it will be half of, it's not half of, it is half neutralized. But all sodium carbonate will go. So X, Y means Y. So X plus Y, that will be equal to 1.75. This is equation A. You remember? Supposing number of millimoles of sodium hydroxide is X. So the number of millimoles of H plus ion will be consumed X. So the number of millimoles of sodium carbonate is Y. So the number of millimoles of H plus consumed will be Y. So X plus Y is the total number of millimoles of H plus ion, and that we get V1N1, V1M1. I'm sorry, V1M1. So that is 0.17, 1.75. Equation 1. Then after that, the methyl arrangement point. And this is single titration. Let me remind you. So what is left out? Tell me what is left out. Just hold it, pause it and tell me what is left out. All sodium hydroxide is gone. It's not another experiment. All sodium hydroxide is gone. And sodium carbonate is half neutralized. So why gone and why sodium bicarbonate is there? So that will require Y moles of HCl again. That will require, so only Y is equal to, so millimoles of HCl further required is 2.5. The same HCl, 2.5 into 1 by 10. So it is 0.25 millimoles of H plus, and that is nothing but Y. Because whatever H plus was required for the first half neutralization, and that is equal to the number of moles of sodium carbonate. Same moles will be required for the second half. That means same will be the number of moles of sodium bicarbonate, same will be the number of moles of H plus ion consumed. So Y means what? Sodium carbonate, number of moles of sodium carbonate, which is now the sodium mole of sodium bicarbonate, and that will be equal to the amount of, the moles of H plus ion consumed. So this is equation B. Solve for these two, you get Y is already there, so you can get X, and then you can convert into its mass. If no portion taken, so entire 200 ml has been titrated, so that amount is present in 200 ml. I have done the answer. X plus Y is 1.75 as we did before, and Y is equal to 0.25, then X is equal to 1.5, all in millimoles. So convert 1.5 kilmilli and into 40. 0.06 gram is present in 200 ml. And sodium carbonate was Y is 0.25 into kilmilli into 106 is molar mass. 0.0265 gram is present in 200 ml. You understood? It's very, very simple. Now, let's completely exclude strong base. Sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, these are strong bases. Let us exclude them totally. If you do that and you have a mixture of sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate, we have already discussed that. And this is, is then added means it is single titration experiment. After reading out, I have told you again and again that for such volumetric analysis problems, you have to read the question carefully 2 times. Single titration experiment. So let us take phenolphthalein endpoint. Now, 10 ml of this solution, mixture solution, requires this. So the number of millimoles of H plus ion, we have to go to H plus ions. Now this into this will be the number of moles of sulfuric acid. Again you have to multiply by 2 to find the number of moles of H plus ions. So 2.5 into 0.1 into 2 is the number of moles of H plus ions. So that is 5 into 0.1, that is 0.5. So, and in this phenolphthalein titration, this is not budging an inch. It is staying as such, but only sodium carbonate will be converted to sodium bicarbonate, right? So here, supposing the number of moles of sodium carbonate here is X, there it was Y. Sodium hydroxide was hero. Here, this is the hero, and supposing this is Y. So we get X is equal to 0.5. This is equation 1. I told you that the number of moles of sodium carbonate is same as the number of moles of H plus ion consumed, because again and again I am writing, this is the ionic equation, doesn't matter. This is the balanced equation. So as much of moles of H plus ion consumed, same is the number of moles of sodium carbonate. So X is equal to 0.5, equation 1. Then go for methyl orange. I am writing in shortcut. Endpoint. Now this is single titration. That means same analyte solution is used, and you have added the indicator in the same analyte, and extra amount 2.5 ml of 0.2 m. This was 0.1, this was 0.2 m, sulfuric acid was required. Now the number of millimoles of H plus ions consumed in the second, that is methyl orange endpoint, the extra amount needed was 2.5 into 0.2. 2.5 into 0.2 into 2, because sulfuric acid is not hydrochloric acid, into 2. So this will be 5 into 2, 0.2, that is 1 millimole. 2 times of this, because this is 0.1, this is 0.2. So this is all in millimoles. So what is that? That is another X is, from the side of sodium carbonate, X moles of HCl, H plus ion has been already consumed, and the number of moles of sodium bicarbonate is also X. Now that will consume another X moles of H plus ion. So from the side of sodium carbonate, for the second half neutralization X, and for the entire sodium bicarbonate in the mixture, it is lying idle. Now its turn will come, and this is Y. So X plus Y is equal to 1. It's not two separate reaction. It is same analyte is undergoing a second stage titration, that is methyl orange titration. So once we know this and this, we can solve. I have done it for you. That 0.5 is equal to X. This is X mole, millimole, and this is Y millimole. That is present in 10 ml solution, X and Y. So this is 0.5 is X, and X plus Y is equal to 1. So solving this, you are getting Y is equal to 0.5, so also X. So converting into mass, you are getting this. Converting into its mass, its molar mass is 84, you are getting this. And if 10 milliliter solution contains this much, 1000 milliliter contains how much? So the strength in grams per liter of that solution is 5.3 grams per liter with respect to sodium carbonate, and same thing, 10 ml contains 0.042 sodium bicarbonate. So in 1 liter it contains 4.2 grams per liter. So the same solution has strength 5.3 grams per liter with respect to sodium carbonate, and 4.2 grams per liter with respect to sodium bicarbonate. Got it? Now, Same type of problem we will be doing in two separate experiments. I am taking two examples in each case. First, strong base with weak base. X we took a strong base, Y we took weak base, sodium carbonate. But and two times we did one single titration. First we did double, then single. Now in this case we have excluded strong base. We've taken only two weak bases, sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate. First we took an example where we had one single titration. Now we will be taking two titrations, double titration. Now see. Very simple. This is double. Why? Because I know. Let me read out. A certain solution consists of sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate. 30 ml of this required 12 ml of 0.1 N sulfuric acid. Right? Using phenolphthalein as indicator. In presence of methyl orange, that means separate. In presence of methyl orange, 30 ml of the same solution is required. 30 milliliter of the same solution, say same 30 ml required 40 ml of 0.1 and H2SO4. Here 12 ml and here 40 ml. But the quantity of the analyte is same. Calculate the amount of sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate per liter in the mixture. Right? Now, let us go for phenolphthalein in the endpoint. Now, whatever millimoles you are getting, millimoles of H plus ion is equal to 12 into, since it is sulfuric acid, its N factor is 2 and molarity is always numerically a lower number, so divided by 2. So into 0.1 divided by 2 is the molarity into 2, because H2SO4 has 2 moles of H plus ion per mole of sulfuric acid. So 2 get cancelled. So remember, if you are dealing with sulfuric acid, then V1N1 is the number of moles of H plus ion. Right? Is the number of moles of H plus ion. Number of moles of H plus ion is same as the number of moles of equivalents of H plus ion. Right? That means V1N1 12 into 0.1, that is 1.2, that is the number of equivalents of sulfuric acid. Number of milliequivalents of sulfuric acid means number of moles of H plus ion. Same thing. You understand? So this is 2 get cancelled. It is 1.2 millimoles of H plus. I deliberately rejected equivalent concept and will show the supremacy of mole concept. But I never undermine or try to disrespect the equivalent concept for which we have sung so nicely. Not nicely, I cannot say nicely, but we have sung. All chemical reactions take place in equivalence. Right? So this is what? This is only supposing this is X and this is Y. So as usual, X is equal to 1.2. Then let us go for a separate methyl orange endpoint. Separate. Now for that, all X, 2X. X for the first half. I'm talking of HCl. I'm not talking of Na2CO3. X for the first half and again X for the second half. So the number of millimoles of HCl required is, now let us find out first how many millimoles of H plus ion has been used up. So that is 30 into, 40. 40 into 0.1 and you convert it to molarity by 2. And the number of moles of H plus ion is into 2. So 2 get cancelled. It is 4 millimoles. This is 1.2. This is 4. And what is 4? It is, tell me. Pause and tell me. What is 4? 4 is the number of millimoles of H plus ion required in the separate methyl orange endpoint. Right? So that is 2X. X for the first half. X for the second half. 2X from the sodium carbonate side. And from sodium bicarbonate side, now it is the only time where it will be undergoing change. detectable change. So y. So 2x plus y is equal to 4. This is equation B. X is equal to 1.2. And by solving this, we can get, I have done it for you. This 1.2 is nothing but x, and 2x plus y is equal to 4. So then you get y is equal to 1.6. They convert into mass. Y was sodium bicarbonate. X was 1.2 into kilmilli, 106 this much gram, and so the grams per liter is equal to this by, it was 30 milliliter was its original solution volume, into 1000, that will be giving its strength in grams per liter. Similarly, we can go for the mass of sodium bicarbonate, and its strength in grams per liter is equal to by 30 into 1000, 4.48 grams per liter, and the same solution has 4.24 grams per liter sodium carbonate and 4.48 grams per liter sodium bicarbonate, right? So how interesting and how easy are these? You can visualize more when you solve problems. I have given some maybe 10 or 9 assignment problems, numericals, and if you solve them of your own, and I can guarantee you, you can get to the correct answer. Take it from me. Now here is a very interesting situation where there is no mention of any indicator. You can understand what indicator would have been used. But see, this is completely a different situation here, that sodium bicarbonate has amphoteric nature. Sodium bicarbonate is really basic, but it has still one more acidic hydrogen atom. So it is also acidic. But the net property, as you know, is basic. Forget about it. But since it has acidic hydrogen atom, it will also react with NaOH or any base to give you the normal salt Na2CO3 plus water. So we will be doing another titration with sodium hydroxide. Earlier we were using only acid, either HCl or sulfuric acid. In that case, you were using bicarbonate as a base. But now when you use sodium hydroxide as the titrant, sodium bicarbonate will be used as an acid. And sodium carbonate will not be reacting with NaOH. It doesn't have an acidic hydrogen atom, only sodium bicarbonate. Right? Now read this problem. 2.5 gram of a mixture of sodium bicarbonate, sodium carbonate and NaCl. NaCl is an impurity. It neither will react with HCl nor with NaOH. Is dissolved in 100 milliliter water, that is the stock solution, and 50 ml from this stock solution is taken. And this portion, when you are taking a small portion from the stock solution, that small portion sometimes is called aliquot. aliquot. Aliquot means small portion used for titration again and again, taken from the same stock solution. Aliquots means small portion from a reservoir or from stock. So 50 ml from this stock solution required 13.33 ml of 1NaCl for equivalence point. It is not mentioning any indicator. For the equivalence means complete. For the equivalence means complete equivalence. Right? That means methyl orange must have been used. Since it is sodium bicarbonate is there, sodium carbonate is there, so it cannot, you cannot take if you take phenolphthalein, then it will be half neutralized. You get the end point and then feel that it is all over, but it is not all over. It's not complete neutralization. So for that, you have to take methyl orange. Why you will take methyl orange? Why you take in that case phenolphthalein? We will know it in details later. Right? So phenolphthalein endpoint, I'm writing in short, I'm writing endpoint. How much required? 13.3 millimoles of H plus ion is 13.33 into 1. 1n means 1m. Forget 1. So it is 13.33 millimoles. So that is undoubtedly the and the entire endpoint. So supposing this is y, supposing this is y, we have been doing x for sodium carbonate, and this is x. Sodium chloride is impurity. So here, when it is a complete, in this complete reaction, you are getting 2x x plus x, second half x. I'm talking of x plus ion, x plus for first half, x plus second half. So 2x plus y is equal to 13.33, right? So you get one equation A. That means you have taken, that means you have taken methyl orange. Otherwise you cannot. Here there is no mention. So methyl orange you are taking. So there is no mention of any indicator. But we, from our common sense, we are sure equivalence point means all are gone. All are gone. So must have been methyl orange. So 2x from this side, y from this side is 13. And on the other hand, it's other 50 ml, because 100 ml, 50 milliliter is gone. Another 50 ml required 19 ml of 0.25 m NaOH. So the one I was referring to. So this is first iteration. This is second titration. Can you tell me which indicator must have been used? When it is sodium bicarbonate, it will become sodium carbonate. So there you have to take phenolphthalein, so that you can distinctly get the color change. So it will be sodium bicarbonate solution will be almost like for it phenolphthalein it will act like acid. It will be colorless, and the moment the endpoint will come, it will become pink. So here phenolphthalein must have been used. Doesn't matter. We don't bother. This is an additional information I am giving. So for that you are getting the number of millimoles of OH minus ion consumed is same as the number of millimoles of NaHCO3 present, right? It will only NaHCO3 will react. These are two independent titrations, is equal to 19 into 0.25, whatever, that is the number of millimoles of sodium bicarbonate. So you got sodium bicarbonate is Y. So Y is equal to this from the titration with alkali, and 2x plus Y you already know by titration with acid, complete titration with acid, And in the second titration, only sodium bicarbonate will be estimated, and that will be found to be the number of OH minus ions, moles of OH minus ion is same as the number of moles of what? Number of moles of sodium bicarbonate. So Y is known from the second, and 2x plus Y is known from the first iteration, and then I have done it for you. 2x plus Y is known from the first titration, and the Y is known from the second titration, because the number of OH minus ion will be same as Y here. Now from these two I solved. X is getting 4.29, and if in 100 ml, because 50-50 both were present in 100 ml, so we have taken 50 ml. So whatever value you got, you have to double it, because the stock solution is 100 ml. So in the stock solution, millimoles of sodium carbonate is double of that, and sodium bicarbonate was double of that. Although in this all reacted, and in this only sodium bicarbonate reacted, I mean the second titration with NaOH. It doesn't matter. So 50 ml contains this much. So 100 ml must have contained the double of that. So once we know the millimoles of each component present in the original mixture, 100 ml, then you convert to its grams per liter. It is asking about percentage. It is about percentage. Calculate the percentage. That means nothing to do with volume. Nothing to do with volume of the solution. That in 100 ml, this millimole. So you convert to mass. So mass 8.858 by 1000 into 106. Mass of sodium carbonate is this much gram. So mass of sodium bicarbonate is 9.5 by 1000 into 84. This much gram. And the total sample mass is given. Because sodium chloride is an impurity is present, so the total mass of the impure sample is given. So the percentage of sodium carbonate is this much, 9.5 by, the percentage of sodium carbonate is 0.909 by the total mass of the impure sample into 100, 36.36. Similarly, we found the percentage of sodium bicarbonate is 31.92, that amounts to 68, nearly 68, and the rest 30 something will be the impurity NaCl. Got the feel? Got the feel? Then I have already told you there is a term called aliquot. Aliquot means it is a small portion from a large stock used for titration. Now there is another term which I had not discussed so far. It's called the blank titration. Back titration I have discussed. What is the difference between blank titration? Blank titration is done to make sure that the water, that distilled water or deionized water that you are using to prepare solution is really free of any acid or base. Therefore, after performing the titration with the sample solution, then the entire solution is rejected and fresh same water that you have used to prepare the solution is taken, and again acid or base you add. If you get some tighter value, some acid is there as a contaminant in that water, then that blank titration value has to be subtracted from the tighter value of the involved titration with analyte, and then you get an accurate result. So sometimes titration is done with the same titrant with a solution which does not contain the analyte. Only water is used to prepare the solution is used. Only water used to prepare the solution is used for the titration. Since distilled or deionized water may contain some excess H plus or OH minus ion, this can be known from the blank titration. This value is subtracted from the titer value for real involved titration with the analyte. This is the analyte, the real titration is with the analyte. Whatever value you get little more than what you should have got, because H plus ion is there or OH minus ion is there. So you have to subtract to get more accurate result. That is called blank titration. Sometimes you will find that. And back titration you already know. If the direct titration of the sample solution is not possible, or the sample is in a solid state, is not soluble to form a solution, so direct titration with the sample solution is not possible, then you take a reagent in excess, allow the sample to react and be completely exhausted, and estimate the excess reagent by a titration. So if the titration is done second, not with the sample itself, but with the excess reagent that has completely exhausted the sample, that excess reagent is estimated, and from that you find out the amount of the sample. That titration is called the back titration, right? So we have a large number of assignments, not large. I have given you 9 assignments, 10 assignments I have given you. So this one I have already done. The 10th one I thought like I will be doing, but the others you will be very interested to solve, and particularly the 9th one and the 10th, and 8th one and the 9th one. This will be interesting. I have given you the answers. So it is really interesting for you. It will be really interesting for you, and I urge upon you that just after you watch my video, you solve these problems. It will be done, and I would feel like making one last video for some typical problems from all types, all volumetric analysis. Maybe it contains simple stoichiometry involving POAC concept. So I would like to spend 1 hour more time selecting a few typical problems from all types. So this is the summit point that we had planned for. This is the final summit point where the mole method triumphed. According to this instructor, the mole method, I made mole concept the hero of solving chemical problems, not equivalence. Equivalence will be highly confusing at certain points, certain instances. So, in a nutshell, you use equivalent concept, no doubt, in the titration experiment, V1, N1, V2, N2, just to avoid writing the balanced equation. And that too, when you know the n factor thoroughly well. You know the n factor thoroughly well. Right? If you do not know the n factor thoroughly well, then of course the question will give molarity. It will never give normality if there is any iota of doubt. It will give molarity. And don't convert it to normality, balance the equation. Sometimes the balance equation will be given, will be delivered to you in the question. So that is better for you. Right? With this, I conclude this session, and hopefully I will select a few typical problems involving all to show how mole method is powerful. And I did leave a few questions in the last video, and in the last video you have a lot of problems. I think I did give you in my description box last time to solve the problems involving the last part 5. These are the 16 problems that I gave you in part 5. The Kilimanjaro trekking starts. Now we have summited the Kilimanjaro, and only 2 were left last time. 2 were left, and if I can just tell you these 2, precipitation titration, and one example to show you here that how confusing and erroneous it will be to climb the ladder in equivalent concept. To caution you, no. You use the equivalent concept in a titration, then convert it into moles because you know the n factor for the titration. Then you climb the ladder in moles. Another problem, and I think I will not, you just have a look. I have given you the handout, I mean the lecture notes in the form of PDF file. I hope you will look at it. By chance, if I am busy in some other projects, not able to do this last video, the numericals video, and it takes time for me to have that video, to create that video, to make that video, so that you can learn of your own reading this, right? I am really not contented. Although I feel very, very joyful, happy that we have completed the BCC program, but I am not totally contented. I feel like sharing my experiences in solving more tougher problems, which will be very, very easy for you once you come to this summit point with me. I can assure you, you can solve all problems. Bye bye. Take care.